Automotive history with trucks. Trucks were not always luxury vehicles with leather seats, giant touchscreens, and enough towing power to pull a house. In the beginning, trucks were simple machines built for one thing: work. They hauled crops, lumber, tools, soldiers, families, campers, boats, and eventually became one of the most important vehicles in the automotive history. Today we're looking at how trucks evolved from basic workhorses into some of the most popular vehicles on the road. This is the history of trucks, folks, from the earliest haulers to the modern pickup wars today. Now, early truck origins started in the 1900s to the 1920s. You had the Ford Model T, early delivery trucks. Farmers used them for loading cargo. Now, most people were used to horses back then, wagons, and railroads doing the heavy lifting. But once gas-powered vehicles became more reliable, businesses quickly realized something important. A motorized truck could move goods faster, farther, with less physical effort than a horse-drawn wagon. And one of the most important early examples was the Ford Model TT. It was based on the famous Model T, but it was designed for heavier work, using a stronger frame and a rear axle. The Model TT helped bring motorized hauling to farms, shops, and small businesses across America. These early trucks were not comfortable, of course. They were slow, they were loud. Many had simple wooden beds, skinny tires, and very basic controls. But they changed everything. For the first time, regular businesses and farmers had access to a vehicle that could carry a real load without needing a team of horses. This was the beginning of a truck as a tool, not a status symbol, not a family vehicle, and definitely not a luxury machine. Just a tough, simple vehicle built to get a job done. Now, we move on to the 1930s into the 1950s. Now, this is when, by the 1930s and the 1940s, trucks were becoming a major part of American life. They were used by farmers, builders, delivery companies, the military, and small town businesses. Then World War II pushed truck development even further. Military trucks had to be tougher, stronger, and more capable in rough conditions. After the war, that toughness carried over into civilian pickups. One of the best examples was the Dodge Power Wagon. The original civilian Power Wagon was mechanically based on World War II military trucks, and it became one of the most important early four-wheel drive trucks today, or still back then and today. This was not a truck built to look tough. It was tough. It was designed for farmers, utility companies, construction crews, and anyone who needed to reach places where normal vehicles could not go. These trucks arrived in the 1947s, and this was the Chevrolet introduced its advanced design trucks after the World War II, and represented Chevrolet's first major truck design after the war. They were marked as larger, stronger, and sleeker than the previous generations. The 1950s helped make the pickup truck part of everyday American scenery. You would see trucks outside farms, gas stations, hardware stores, and construction sites. They were still mainly work vehicles, but their design was becoming more redefined. Now, you got rounded fenders, you got chrome grills, and they had painted steering wheels. And improved cabins made trucks more appealing than ever before. And once trucks became better looking and easier to live with, something major started to happen. People began buying them for more than just work. Now, the 1960s and 1970s, these trucks were changing. They were no longer only for farmers, contractors, and delivery drivers. More buyers started using pickups as personal vehicles. This was the era when the truck became part of a work machine, part family hauler, and a part weekend toy. Styling became more important, especially with the CK10 and the F-Series with two-tone paint. Trucks got wider, lower, smoother, and more stylish. Two-tone paint, better interiors, automatic transmissions, V8 engines, and improved ride quality made pickups easier to draw everyday driving. This was also when recreational truck use started growing. People used trucks to tow boats, haul campers, carry motorcycles, and explore places outside the city. The truck was no longer just something you drove because you had to. It became something people wanted. A pickup truck could take you to work during the week and to the lake on the weekend. That idea became one of the most powerful selling points in the truck history. Automakers leaned into it. Ford, Chevy, Dodge, and GMC all started marketing trucks as vehicles that could work hard but could still fit into a personal lifestyle. That shift helped create the modern pickup truck buyer as we know today. 1970s to the 1980s. In the 1970s and 80s, America became obsessed with off-road capability. Four-wheel drive trucks had existed before this, but during this period, 4x4 culture exploded. Drivers wanted trucks that could handle snow, mud, trails, hunting, roads, campsites, and rural terrain. This era helped turn four-wheel drive from a special work feature into a lifestyle segment. A 4x4 truck told people something about it. You said you worked hard. You said you went outdoors. It said you wanted freedom beyond paved roads. So, trucks like the Chevy K10, the Ford F-Series, 4x4s, Dodge pickups, Jeep trucks, and full-size SUVs helped define the look of this era. Big tires, high ground clearance, boxy designs, even chrome bumpers, and simple interiors. This is also when trucks and SUVs started blending together in the public imagination. You had the likes of Chevy Blazer, Ford Bronco, Jeep Wagoneer, and the Dodge Ram Charger. The 4x4 boom helped make toughness cool. Now, moving on to the modern trucks. You had the 1990s and the 2000s. This was the turning point. This is when the pickup truck became mainstream in a whole new way. Trucks were no longer seen as rough, basic vehicles for people who did manual labor. They became daily drivers, family vehicles, and status symbols. One of the biggest design moments of the 1990s was the second-generation Dodge Ram. With its big rig-inspired front end, tall hood, and aggressive grille, it became trucks look more powerful and more dramatic. Now, that design helped push the entire segment toward bolder styling. The Ford F-Series also continued to dominate the truck market. By the mid-2020s, Ford was still describing the F-Series as America's best-selling truck for decades, showing just how powerful the nameplate had become. Chevy also entered a new era with the Silverado, name becoming central to its full-size pickup identity. The truck market was becoming more competitive and buyers had more choices than ever. Cabin size changed everything. Extended cabs came along, then crew cabs made pickups much easier to use as family vehicles. Suddenly, a truck could carry tools, tow a trailer, haul plywood, and take their kids to school. That versatility became the pickup's superpower. Now, 2010 to the 2020s, the modern era of the pickup trucks. Today's trucks are more advanced than ever. Modern pickups can now be work trucks, luxury vehicles, off-road machines, towing rigs, family haulers, and technology showcases all at the same time. Heavy-duty trucks now tow massive trailers and with levels of power that would have seemed impossible decades ago. Diesel engines, advanced transmissions, Trailer cameras, exhaust brakes, and towing assist systems have transformed what trucks can do today. At the same time, luxury trims have changed how people think about pickups. You now have leather seats, panoramic roofs, giant touchscreens, premium audio, massaging seats. Modern trucks can cost as much as luxury cars, and in some cases today even more. The truck has become both a tool and a reward. It can still haul gravel and tow equipment, but it can also be the nicest vehicle in your driveway. Off-road trucks have become a major part of the market. Factory-built performance trucks now come with lifted suspension, locking differentials, and then came the electric trucks, the Ford F-150 Lightning, the Rivian R1T, the Tesla Cybertruck, and the Chevy Silverado EV all showed that the pickup truck is entering another new chapter. Electric trucks bring instant torque, quiet operations, home power backup features, and new storage possibilities. But they also raise new questions about range, charging, towing performance, cost, and whether truck buyers are ready to fully move away from gas and diesel. That is what makes truck history so interesting. The basic idea has stayed the same for more than 100 years. Build a vehicle that can carry, tow, and work. But the meaning of a truck hasn't changed completely. It started as a replacement for the horse and wagon. Then it became the backbone of farms, construction sites, and small businesses. Then it became a symbol of freedom, toughness, family life, recreation, luxury, and technology. Now, the truck did not just evolve with America. In many ways, it helped build it. From the first simple work trucks to today's high-tech pickups, the history of trucks is really the history of work, freedom, innovation on four wheels. So now I want to know, what truck era is your favorite? Do you like the classic work trucks, the square body 4x4s, the 1990s pickups, or today's modern towing machines? Drop your answer in the comments, and don't forget to like the video. And if you enjoyed truck history, and for more truck specs, towing, payload charts, and prices on vehicles, new and into the future, check back with us more, and like, subscribe, share the video, and I will talk to you next time around. Bye for now.